Hi guys, in the second part of this two-parter, we'll be implementing our spring power up, give us a bit of a double jump, and we'll also be implementing our propeller power up, which gives us a bit of a glide. So stay tuned. Alright, welcome back everyone. So we have a bit of a different start for our video, and I want to do what I said we would do in the last video, and that's update our version of Godot. So here I have Godot 4.5. You can use whatever newest version, it should be alright. So I'll open it, find the project, and it's just going to ask a warning, there might be some issues. This happens if you're ever updating a project, but we should be okay. And if you're really worried about it, you can back it up the project. But yeah, we should be okay. So I'm just going to press OK. And now I just want to do one thing, and that's go into the physics and the project settings, physics 3D, go to our physics engine and choose Jolt. And it'll tell us we need to save and restart, and that's fine. So I'm just gonna do that. And Jolt is basically like a faster, more efficient, just a little bit better of a physics engine that they added. Alright, cool. So now we can go ahead and start implementing these power-ups. And so the first thing I want to do is go to our input map and add a new input called usability. And I'm just going to make it left mouse button for me. And that should be cool. Awesome. And now I just want to go ahead and implement our first power-up, and that is the spring. And I want to create a new variable for us in the marble, and we can just call it like spring jump power. Make it a float, and I'm going to set it equal to like 15 for me. And now in the physics process, we can just go ahead and do if input dot is action just pressed uses ability. We'll say if input, or not input, excuse me, current ability is equal to abilities dot spring. We can just do some kind of function called something like spring jump, and then we'll set our current ability back equal to none, so the player has used their ability. And now for our spring jump, we can just go ahead and copy the jump function, paste it, give it the name of spring jump, and instead of our jump power, we'll do our new spring jump power. And yeah, we should be good to go. So let's go ahead and try it out. So if we go ahead and collect our new spring, we can go ahead and click, and yeah, there we go. We got a big jump now. Cool. So that's the spring power up. So now that we have the spring implemented, we can go ahead and start implementing the propeller. And so the first thing I want to do for that is add our visuals. So we'll add a new node 3D to our player, call it propeller base. And we're just going to add our model straight as a child inside it. We'll scale it down because it's pretty big. Something like that. Move it to the top of our marble. Make sure it's a child of the propeller base. And we'll move it over here just for visual clarity. And then we're also going to add a timer. And this timer is going to just be like our propeller length of our ability before it stops working. So we can just call it propeller timer. And I'm going to add the timeout signal on the marble. Cool. So now we can go ahead and start implementing it. So I'm going to add a new export variable called hover amount. And this is basically going to be the hover force that kind of counteracts gravity for us. So we'll call it, we'll make it a float, and we'll make it like 10. Cool. And we'll add one more, and we'll call it a variable, and we'll do propeller enabled to make sure that we know when the propeller is in use. Now in our input condition, we can say if current ability is equal to abilities.propeller, and the propeller is not in use. Then we can go ahead and show our propeller base. So I'm going to get a reference to that. We're going to enable our propeller. And we're also going to start our propeller timer. So let's get a reference to that as well. Cool. And now we're going to kind of do the opposite. If we have the ability in use and we press the left click again, then we want to cancel the ability so the player can has a little more control over their inputs. So we'll say, oh, let's make this an elif statement, and we'll just kind of copy this over and adjust some things for it. So we'll say elif current ability is propeller and the propeller is enabled. Then we'll just do the opposites. And now we can go ahead and copy these two over in our propeller timeout function, because we want to do the same things once the timer runs out, right? And let me make sure my timer settings are correct. So I'm going to do something like a 7-second timer. And we'll make sure it's one shot, so it only happens once. Cool. So that part should be good to go, but now we actually got to do the physics for it. So we can say if propeller enabled, we'll ask if linear velocity.y is less than 0. Then we can do linear velocity.y equals move toward linear velocity.y, and we'll make it move towards 0. We'll do hover amount times delta. Cool. And now in the camera, we want to make sure that our camera direction isn't affecting anything, because like we wouldn't want to like look upwards and start floating upwards. So in the camera, we'll say, or in the movement function, we'll say if propeller enabled, we'll set the relative direction x.y equal to 0, and we'll do that for the z as well. And then we'll just make sure to normalize these as well right after. And I'm going to do the same for that z. Cool. Now the very last thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our propeller base is actually following this marble. So we'll just say propeller base dot global position is equal to global position. So let's go ahead and try it out. I gotta make sure to hide this, and we gotta make sure to actually add the collectible in the scene. So let me go back into player, hide this, and in the abilities we'll just duplicate it over and move it. Make sure it's a propeller ability power up. Now we can go ahead and run into it, use our ability, and there we have it. We can start gliding now. Awesome. And I want to do one more thing, and that's actually have our propeller spin. And we can actually do that really easily. So if we go into player on our propeller base, we'll just add a new node. And we can just call this something like rotation component. And we'll save it as its own scene. So we'll do save branch as scene. I already have the folder, but make a rotation component folder in the objects. Go ahead and save it. We'll add a new script called rotation component. And this is going to be a really simple script. So it'll have a class name of rotation component. and we'll give it an export variable of rotation speed. I'm gonna set mine equal to like 100. Make sure it's a float. And then we'll just say on ready, rotation speed is, we can just randomize it just to make it a little different. So if our collectibles are right next to each other, they're not like spinning at the exact same time. So we'll do a randef range, and we'll do rotation speed -2, and then we'll do rotation speed +2. So it's kind of like a difference of 4 if you think about it. And now in the process function, we'll just say get parent, which in this case is our propeller, dot rotation degrees, dot y plus equals rotation speed times delta. Cool. And for this propeller, I'm going to make it a little faster, so we'll make it like 500. So now if we go ahead and collect it, now our propeller's spinning. Awesome. And I want to just do one more visual thing, and that is have our abilities spin as well. So we'll just go in our ability collectible and add our new rotation component. And we'll keep it at a speed of 100. And I also want to kind of give our spring a little bit of a tilt. That should make it look a little nicer. Cool, now if we play, now we have a little bit of a spin on that. And grab a propeller, glide, left click to cancel it. Oh, I gotta make sure to set our current ability to none. So if we go to player, marble, make sure that we do current ability equals abilities dot none. Same like we did for the spring. And let's do the same in our timeout function. And yeah, now let's give it one more try, make sure everything's good. Use our propeller, left click again. Looks like a bit of a problem. Let's make sure everything's okay. Oh, it's because I was checking to see if it was equal to that. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Now let's try one more time. Left click again, and now it's set equal to none. Awesome. Well, great job, guys. Now we have our abilities. Should add a lot of variation to our game. So thanks for watching. In our next video, we're going to add one more thing to our level creation, and that is moving platforms. So stay tuned.